This mother has 3 young cubs, just 8 months old. It's autumn, and the family needs to fatten up before the winter hibernation. This year, the oak trees are laden with acorns, an important source of fat. The bears have plenty to eat, but their challenge here is finding enough to drink. The limestone mountains soak up the rain, so there are no permanent streams. Fortunately for the bears, there is another source of water. Serranías del Burro is prime cattle country, and the ranchers provide year-round water for their herds by tapping into underground springs. The water tanks are a magnet for all. Mother bear, with her young calves, must approach with caution. Bears occasionally kill cows, so the ranchers let their cows' horns grow long as a natural bear deterrent. The family gets the message loud and clear. The cattle have had their fill. Now it's the family's chance. But someone else has got his eye on the tank. A big male. He's best avoided. This male wants more than a drink. He wants to cool off in his tub. Over millions of years, these flowers have developed an unusual relationship with a very colorful character. The orchid bee. For just a few months each year, when the orchids are in bloom, the orchid bees visit them in droves. Not to sip their nectar, but to sweep up fragrant oils using brushes on their front feet. They scrape the oils into a special pouch on their hind legs. These orchid bees are mixing their own cologne, made from up to 80 different scents collected from the forest. This complex fragrance helps the males attract the females. The most fragrant oils are produced by one very special kind of orchid, Stanhopea. This orchid blooms for just one day each year. In these crucial 24 hours, it must spread its pollen far and wide. As soon as it opens, the flower emits a hypnotic perfume that smells like freshly ground cinnamon, sending the orchid bees into delirium. But Stanhopea's sweet smell belies a cunning purpose. Its petals are covered in slippery oil droplets. And their intricate shape forces the bee to walk backwards. The bee slips, and the orchid sticks a packet of pollen onto its back, which it will unwittingly carry to other Stanhopea flowers. With its pollen distributed in just a single day, the flower's job is done. As the sun sets, the petals wilt and die. This secret mountain world is home to an abundance of rare creatures, many found nowhere else on Earth. High in the canopy lives the alligator tree lizard, and the horned one, the last survivor of an ancient bird family. It's been evolving independently for more than 30 million years. In forest clearings, male long-tailed manakins dance to entice females, a ritual that may take a decade to perfect. Travel deeper into the heart of this cloud forest, and you might discover the true spirit of El Triunfo, a mythical creature rarely seen. Sacred to the ancient Aztecs, who treasured its feathers more than gold. It's considered the most beautiful bird in the Americas. The aptly named Resplendent Quetzal. It's the mating season, and this male's 3-foot long-tail feathers have helped him successfully attract a mate. Now he has a young family to feed. He works tirelessly for a month to satisfy his brood's voracious appetite. His lush Mexican home is brimming with fruit and insects. At the end of the mating season, he will drop his spectacular tail feathers. But the Quetzal grows a new train every year. Each cenote is an oasis, The surrounding forest remains lush, even at the height of the dry season. Filtered through the limestone, the water is full of minerals. It supports a unique community of plants and animals. Some fish in the Yucatan cenotes are found nowhere else on Earth. Within the dense forest, a cenote can remain hidden even when close by. But the Maya had an almost surefire way of finding them. The distinctive call of the turquoise-browed motmot. Virtually every cenote has its own colony. Elsewhere, motmots prefer to nest alone, digging their burrows along riverbanks. Here in the Yucatan, they're forced together, sharing limited space on the cenote's soft limestone walls. Before a male can start looking for a mate, he needs to secure a nest site. But this cenote is already crowded. 17 other pairs are nesting here. If he's to fit in, this new arrival must use the right body language. A raised turquoise brow is intended to intimidate rivals. The pendulous tick-tock of their tails has earned motmots the nickname clockbirds. This male must persevere if he wants to breed this year. At last, he's earned his own little ledge of limestone. With a gift of food, he can get down to the business of attracting a mate. Sam Meacham and Fred DeVos are part of an international community of cave divers that has been exploring the Yucatan since the 1980s.
I started out for the thrill of being able to explore something, and from a young age I just was imbued with the desire to go out and explore this world.
Each new cenote adds another piece to the puzzle.
Wow, look at this, Sam.
Wow. The moment of discovery, right? You can't beat it.
In the last 30 years, cave divers in the Yucatan have revealed something extraordinary. The cenotes are not isolated wells. Each is connected by an intricate network of caves and passageways spreading like a spider's web across the peninsula. Divers have discovered over 350 caves and nearly 1,000 miles of flooded tunnels, including the two longest underwater cave systems on the planet. Many of these caverns have seen fewer visitors than the moon. The great majority remains uncharted. For the ancient Maya, the labyrinth of caves was out of reach, but not beyond imagination. This secret underworld was held sacred. Home to the 12 gods of Xibalbá, it was a place both feared and revered. In the heart of the Yucatan, there's a cave the locals call El Volcán de los Murciélagos, the Bat Volcano. Every day, an hour before dusk, it erupts. More than 3 million bats exit the cave. The ancient Maya associated bats with death. This was a swarm straight from the underworld. But bats are vital to life in the Yucatan, keeping its insect population in check. Each can eat its own body weight in insects every night. While the bats are focused on the insects, others are watching them. Gray hawks and bat falcons. These birds are skilled aerial predators, their talons perfectly designed to snatch the bats from the air. There are other, more surprising hunters here. Brown jays. They normally eat insects and fruit. But the brown jays here have developed a taste for bats. The jays don't use talons to catch their prey. They use their beaks. The loss of 10 or so bats barely makes a dent on the swarm. Tonight, the colony will consume around 30 tons of insects, a vital service that keeps the entire forest healthy. The black-tailed prairie dog. They live in extensive colonies comprised of dozens of families, each with a dominant male, several females, and their offspring. In May, their 6-week-old pups take their first steps above ground. Grasses and other prairie plants provide all the food and moisture these vegetarians need. But feeding in this open terrain comes with risks. Their burrows offer an escape from birds of prey and coyotes. But they're no protection from one of the prairie's most persistent hunters, the bull snake. This powerful constrictor could easily suffocate an adult prairie dog. But it's pups he's after. And they're hiding somewhere in their burrow. Their father would be foolhardy to follow this predator underground. The snakes found nothing down this hole, so he's on to the next. To save his pups, their father must somehow drive the snake away. He stands to warn others where the snake is. Repeated strikes may just drive it away. The snake concedes defeat. On the open prairies, there's safety in numbers in this prairie dog town. Thanks to their father's bravery, the pups are safe again. Most of these pools, known locally as pozas, are fed by thermal springs where underground water is forced to the surface by geothermal heat. Millions of years ago, when this region was much wetter, ancient waterways brought fish into this valley. As the climate dried, the waters receded and fish became isolated in pools, evolving into many new species. "16 species live here. Half of them found nowhere else on Earth. Including this one, a Cuatro Ciénegas cichlid. This female has a family, and she's the most devoted mother. Stirring up the sediment, she exposes tiny plankton for her fry to feed on. But the biggest challenge isn't feeding her babies, it's protecting them. Some cichlids have evolved into predators. And in this small pool, there are few places to hide. From dawn until dusk, she must defend her brood. She has no time to feed herself and is getting weaker by the day. But it's worth it. Without her help, her young would never survive. When they're a centimeter long, they will fend for themselves. Until then, this mother must give her all. Mexico is home to the greatest diversity of scorpions on Earth, and the Sonoran Desert is a stronghold. But even fearsome predators must tread carefully. Others are listening in. In the desert, you've got to grab any opportunity for a meal, no matter how dangerous. Pallid bats have become scorpion hunting specialists. Their large ears are especially sensitive, capable of hearing the footsteps of their prey. As long as the scorpion stays still, it's safe. But this bat has another way of increasing its chances. It stalks its prey. The slightest flinch will give the scorpion away. Its sting is no defense. Pallid bats are immune to scorpion venom. By learning how to hunt one of the desert's most common creatures, these bats found a unique way to prosper in this difficult environment. It's a big meal, too, and a vital source of moisture in such a dry place.